Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. Today I'm here with a full review of BLU's new flagship device, the VIVO X, or for you numbers guys, the VIVO 10. Following up from my unboxing video, this is the full review and more comprehensive in-depth look at the device. So before we go any further, I'll give you a quick rundown of the specs. So it's got a 6-inch HD Plus 18:9 ratio screen. It's got a widescreen viewing experience and it's made out of Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Now, this 18:9 ratio and HD Plus, it has some meaning to it. Typically on the back of the phone, they'll tell you what the ratio is, but on this one, they highlighted the cool stuff. And I'll follow up with the technical stuff. So the HD Plus means it's 1440 by 720p resolution, which is a modified 2K. Now, 2K is pretty much the standard for most phones, and BLU wanted to venture out into the deeper water and give you a better resolution, but they did it in an economical but powerful way to maximize the chipset. It's got a MediaTek Helio P25 processor, which is fantastic. I've got a lot of hands-on time with it, and it's by far the most impressive MediaTek I've ever used. 2.6 gigahertz, 8-core processor, 64 gigs of internal memory, expandable to an additional 64 with an SD card. It's got 4 gigs of internal RAM. Now, it's got 4 cameras on it. And if you can wrap your head around that, it's pretty cool. It's the first time BLU's ever done it, and I haven't seen another phone that's done it, but it's really cool. It's got a 13 megapixel and 5 megapixel camera for the primary shooter, which is on the back of the phone. It's got the Sony IMX processor in it, just like the VIVO 8 did, and it takes really good pictures. It's on the front, it's got a 20 megapixel and 8 megapixel dual selfie camera setup for an additional 120 degree selfie taking ability, and I'll show you that when we get into the phone. LED flash on the front and the back, and it's got BLU's Final Touch software for enhancing the pictures and all that, and it's definitely the best photo suite that they've had to date on their phones. You'll really like it. As I said, micro SD expandable up to 64 gigabytes. It's got 4G LTE up to 300 megabit speed. It's got 4,000 milliamp battery. Supports quick charge 2.0, 5 volt, 2 amp, which the charger will do that. And then it's got Android 7.0 Nougat, and it's got the premium metal housing aluminum body design, which is a staple of BLU's phones. So now that we've gone through the technical rigmarole, let's see a little bit of it in action. So curved display, what does that mean? It's not a functional one like you get with like the Galaxy series and their Infinity Edge and all that cool stuff. This one's more aesthetic, and you can kind of see there's a ridge here. Looks better over here, like a little ridge, a lip, where you've got the glass and it's curved off on the edge and then slopes into the aluminum body. It's more for aesthetics. It's not functional. You can't do anything cool with it. It's just the way they like to design their phones. And it's pretty cool. It's definitely a novelty feature of BLU. It's got one speaker down on the bottom, but the speaker puts out ample sound. It puts out good volume. I've been very happy with it. Of course, we got our micro USB 2.0, which is standard with BLU phones. I'm hoping one day they'll move up to the USB-C. Maybe later on this year we'll see it, but not right now. One of their favorite things that they do that I still like is the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and then nothing on the left side except for the SIM tray, which you can see there. And it's also dual SIM unlocked, GSM compatible, so you can use it with T-Mobile, AT&T, all their different subsidiary phones, phone carriers like Cricket, Mint SIM, all those guys work with it. On the right hand side, we've got our volume rockers, and it's kind of cool. They textured a little bit, one so you can feel it, which I mean you could feel it before, but I mean it just gives it a different feel to it. But your power button, which is also the on-off button for the screen, and then you've got your volume rocker up and down, and then the fingerprint sensor on the back, which is actually really fast. I was very surprised with how quickly they were able to get it to work. Especially with the last phone that I used, the R2 Plus, it was kind of slow and laggy. So you definitely get flagship performance out of the flagship specs that are in this phone. And then of course we've got our 2 cameras and our LED on the back, and then the 2 cameras and the LED on the front. So that's kind of a brief rundown on the outside. Let's fire it up. So we've got the screen on here, and I'll go ahead and show you how quickly it works with the fingerprint sensor. And there we go. Wait from lock, wait from lock. You can see that it works pretty quick. So it's 4 times now. I think that's probably good enough. Getting into the phone. as you can see here on the phone itself, this is really all that came installed on it. Now I'll swipe to the left and you can see I installed a couple things over here because I've been using it, but you'll be able to have a look at that here in a minute. And I'll show you some of the performance stuff that you really get. This new P25 processor really helps put the phone through its paces and allows it to do some things that some of the other phones weren't able to. Swipe to the right, you get the Google Assistant, which I really like. They've been throwing me off a little bit with their new phones when Blue comes out with them, because it seems like one will be one interface, one will be the other interface, and not really interface. The interface is really the same, it's just the way that they implement it. So, just like the Vivo 8, swipe down will get you notification screen. You can change that up how you want to view them there. If you swipe up, you get the quick settings. It's got 2 full pages, and you can turn those on and off at will, and you can even edit it. Here, I'll show you. You can edit it and pick which ones you want on there and customize it to your individual needs and likes. So go in the app drawer here, you can see there's not a whole lot installed on it. Really, it's a very stock Android experience, which I like a lot. There's hardly anything that they included on here, and I'm super happy about that because you don't have to worry about it taking up RAM, running in the background, and also taking up your precious space. But with 64 gigs, you're really going to be hard-pressed to run out of that. So I was glad that they bumped up the specs on this one. Got the 4 complimentary 4 gigs of RAM plus the 64 gigs of internal storage. So one of the big things that everybody really loves to see with these phones is their cameras, especially now that we were talking about a 4-camera setup. So we've got a true dual setup, 2 cameras on the back, 2 in the front. So it's not just party in the front, business in the back, or business in the front, party in the back. It's both. It's a party in the front and the back. So I'll fire up the camera real quick and let you see some of the cool stuff. All right, so typical Blue setup here. They have a lot of the options up here up top. You get the little 4-square icon that you can click on to go into different settings and the different modes. Down here on the bottom, you swipe from left to right here. Doesn't have to be down here where they're at, but you swipe left to right. So you get night mode, so you can get better shots at night. You get video, which is capable of 1080p at 30 frames per second. You get face beauty. I'm not making my face look any better, so I don't think it's going to help me out, but it smooths and does some other stuff. It's kind of like a little bit of a filter, and you can adjust the settings with the little magic button there. So you can smooth it out, whiten, slimming, eye enlarger, and that's it in there. For your regular photo, you go up here, you can turn the flash on, adjust some of the shutter stuff, you get your settings here. You can change all sorts of things, turn on your geotagging, so if you want your friends to know where you took the picture at, that's cool. You can set up where the volume keys work as a shutter, so you can take the picture, anti-banding, picture size. You've got 13 megapixel, 10, 10, 8. You've got the different aspect ratios, so you can do 1:1, 4:3, 16:9, 18:9, which is really cool. You can change the capture modes up, and I'll show you that here in a second. You can turn sound on and off. And you get for the bokeh stuff, so you can adjust the way that you want the picture to appear, so you can get change it where you get it's got the blur effect. And let me see if I can capture that for you. So whenever you want to use this, you go ahead and you get the picture, you focus in on the way you want it to look, or what the point of focus that you want, and then you can adjust it for blur. So as you can see, the blur, oops, let me get back there. There we go. All right, so you can see it's kind of blurry right now. I'll go ahead and pick where I want it to focus. So I want to focus right there on Vivo X, but you can see how the background is still blurred, and then you can adjust the blur in here, and we'll get a different frame of reference there. So now you can see that the little plant back there is crystal clear, but up here it's blurry. So that's one of those really neat features that you can do, allow you to customize your photos and really enhance and focus on the areas that you want people to see. So we'll turn that off, but that's a really cool feature. So we'll go in here to the menu settings, and I promise this isn't just an excuse to show off all the camera stuff, but when you get a phone that's got 4 cameras in it, you can't help but show it off. So professional mode here, you can I recommend leaving this on just so you can understand what you're doing. So you've got focus, shutter speed, white balance, ISO for light sensitivity, and automatic. You can put it where it doesn't display again. I leave it on. So we'll put it in professional mode, and over here on the site you get your EV, your ISO, WB for white balance, shutter for automatic, all that cool stuff. So you can really take the picture you want the way that you want it. And I think that's one of the greatest things that you're going to get out of Blue, is they really hammer it home whenever it comes to being able to take great photos. They give you the camera to do it, they give you the software to do it, they give you a battery to do it all day. And if you're a social media person that likes to take pictures and upload them to Instagram, Pinterest, all that cool stuff, or even use Snapchat, this is the phone for you. But it gives you more power than any of the Blue phone that's ever had available for it, and it also gives you more options. So moving on to the other settings, you get Panorama Mode. I don't really like to take panoramic pictures because I can never get them to turn out right, but it has the option in there if that's what you like. Backlight, so you can get better primary focus on your photos. Now I'm going to show you something that's really cool. I think it's under this mode. So we'll go into photo, we'll go over here, and we'll go to group selfie. So you're going to get to see my face here for a second, so savor that while you can. But what we're going to do when we take the picture, it says press the shutter, take the first picture. And this is how you get the wide lens selfie. So we take the first picture, and then it says rotate it a little bit, and you'll get the little green icon, and then it gets the other side, and then you rotate to the other side, and then you get the other part. So now you can see the picture here, and voila, a really flattering picture of me, but you get the whole wide angle photo, which is really cool. And I wish more photos did that, because you really want to get the best photo possible. So I'll run through that again, hopefully get a better picture of me, so I'll stop talking for a second. So take picture. All right, there we go. Said stay a while. Ta-da! Wide angle photo. So you can see like the whole back part of my kitchen and my door there. So that's really cool. Now we're going to go back to regular photo mode. So you see here we've got time-lapse slow-motion, and so I'll go ahead and do the slow-motion real quick, and I'll show you that one in action. So we'll go ahead and record right now, and we're going to record. La la la. So whoo. Let's spin this around so we get something to watch, and then we'll go watch it. There we go. That's in slow motion mode. So pretty cool. So that's another wonderful built-in feature that you get. So all in all, and I think I've shown off probably the best parts of the camera. I mean, I could spend all day doing this, really, just because there's so much to it. But this is hands down the most stuff that's been available to a camera I've ever used. Also, you can make GIFs, and you can smart scan stuff if you get barcodes, pick note, card scanner, translation. If you want to click on something, it'll translate. But take a picture of some word or sentence or phrase, and it allows you to translate it. So super, super cool. If you're into taking photos, this is the phone that you want. So getting into the software experience real quick. This is the first Blue phone. It's the first MediaTek processor I've ever been able to play war robots on. And it runs about as good as a Snapdragon 820, 821, probably in the middle there. It's not as good as the 835, but it's playable. And I was super happy with that because I haven't been able to do it before on a Blue phone, especially on a MediaTek. So that's super cool. Of course, we've always got my Alto, which I like to play. But just to give you a little bit of a run through here, show you how fast it loads. And I apologize, the time limit on this video is going to be quite extensive. But you're not going to be disappointed if this is a phone that you want. But it's definitely the smoothest and the fastest Blue phone that I have ever used. And the sound is good quality. I like it. It's nice and clean. It's not distorted. It's got a very natural sound to it. I swear if Noodle Cake ever sees this, they're going to think that I'm lobbying to market their software. But whoop. If you like these kind of games, I love this one. And I'm dead. But as you can see, the menu button goes out of the way when you're inside of an app. So you just swipe up to get to it. we'll go to menu there, close this stuff out. You can just swipe to close, or you can click the X's. What's something else I can show you? It takes too long to get into the startup for War Robots. Otherwise, I would show you that one. You know what? Screw it. I'll show you. If you're a gamer, this is finally a phone that's an alternative choice that you're going to be able to play video games on. And that's one of the biggest drawbacks that I've had with using a BLU for a primary phone, because I'll use them for secondary phones, and I recommend them for a lot of people for primary phones, especially if you like taking pictures, selfies, social media, all that good stuff. Oh, there's a new version. I'm not going to wait on that. But you get the picture. See, it even started up pretty quick. So that's about all that I have for the phone. All in all, you're really going to like it. They're going on sale today, which is the 15th of February, and it's going to be $299, and I was $10 off in my unboxing video because I said that it was going to be about $249. I was wrong. It's $259, so you're going to get 40 bucks off if you buy it on a limited time sale exclusively through Amazon. But 6-inch screen, you get a great display, you get plenty of power, you get a lot of multitasking capability, and obviously I would be remiss if I didn't show you that. So to do the multitasking, you start an app up, and while you're in the app, let me do this again. While you're in the app, so let me open up Google Chrome. I think I crashed it. All right, we'll open Opera. There we go. So this is dual screen mode. And you can see it's pretty quick. Both of the screens work well. And then if you want to close one and make the other one primary, you go down like that. If you want to add another one, you hold down the square button again. And then here, we'll just open Opera again because it's already running. You swipe up, you can make that one the primary. So that's how you get the split screen. Works really well. It's a powerhouse. It's a beast. It is every bit of a flagship device that BLU should be making. The Vivo 8 was a good flagship device, but everybody's taking everything up a notch. Samsung's coming out with the new X model. iPhone came out with the iPhone X model, and the X model for Vivo, is excellent. So check it out. Limited time sale, $259. Normal price MSRP, $299. It's available only in black, but I think you'll like it. Anyway, that's all that I have. Sorry again for running so long on the time. I know I've been going a little long with the videos lately, but I'm getting more into showing you what's available on the phone, how it functions, and what you're getting out of it. Because a lot of the times you see the videos out there and it's like, okay, cool, we did the rundown, but they don't show you how everything works, the intricacies, and go into using it kind of in a day-to-day experience to see what you're going to get out of it. So hopefully y'all like that. If not, by all means, let me know in the feedback, and I'll cut them shorter and focus a little bit more on some of the features instead of just giving you a comprehensive review of the entire phone. But I hope that y'all like it. As always, ask questions. Thanks again for tuning in. Subscribe, share with your friends, and thanks for watching. Anyway, have a great day, and thanks for tuning in.